It needs to go down. Hello, everybody. All right.
Mr. Burns Day. What up, Payne?
Hey, Bane. I think you also need to come point it in this direction a bit, towards me. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Cool.
We shall further Mr. Burns today.
Yes. I'm gonna go grab my tools. I'll be right back.
Alright. Don't forget to grab your drink.
It's right there.
Then don't forget to grab my balls.
No? No.
Twitch can't stop me.
So I walked into the living room just in time to hear, don't forget to grab my balls.
Nice.
So mature.
I know.
Very wow.
You have no idea.
Oh, I think I do. Plenty idea.
No
Plenty
idea at all.
Alright, tail time.
Nope, you don't understand the depths of stupidity I'd get up to if left to my own devices.
Think I don't understand?
I know you don't understand.
Ha! Yeah, I typoed it. I fixed it, but I typoed it.
She does that a lot for
I already
somebody.
addressed it.
For somebody that gives me no end of shit when something is
And I
misspelled.
will continue to give you no end of shit. Yes, I'm the beta male. Happens when you don't pay attention to what you're doing.
I mean, wouldn't you have to try paying attention to what you were doing in order to, like, test that theory?
Nope.
No? Just see if it was indeed that. It wasn't just general incompetence.
General what?
General incompetence.
Oh no.
It's not general incompetence.
Oh
no. Quite certain.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's probably a cuck chair involved.
I am sleepy today. I'm gonna try not to yawn all the way through stream today.
Don't be yawning.
Huh?
Don't be yawning. Bitch, I need you to sparkle.
I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Pretty sure that's against terms of service.
Oh,
I'm actually really
probably.
safe right now. I can
Are
do
you?
I can say anything I want and you can't do shit because
Really?
terms of service.
Is that what you think?
Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna be fiddling around with hair, ears, and his clothing a bit more. The mouth?
This is too big. Is that crazy? That's great. Crazy talk.
My wife just showed me a handle against a mug body.
Do you want to show the class?
I mean, I can. Let's demonstrate this. I'm concerned that this
It's pretty sturdy.
I am concerned that this needed to be asked. Man, you really gouge a...
Mr. Burns is frozen.
Oh, it is.
Why is Mr. Burns frozen?
I don't know. Actually, the whole thing might be frozen.
Oh. Hold up. It's not even How are you?
It's not... It...
No, there's nothing there.
Okay, it's...
I usually can see it on the screen.
Okay, you can definitely stop poking it, though.
I can definitely continue poking it. Don't tell me what to do. Oop, didn't like that. Why didn't you like that? Why is it yellow? So when you focus it, when it's in focus, the little square goes green.
It's probably because there's nothing here that it recognizes as an object.
Okay, well, keep your hand on for a second. Yeah, okay. It's too nothing. Weird. Okay. It claims to be in focus now.
So this was the question I was just asked. Is that handle too big?
It's not in focus, but that's okay. That is super big.
Just in case anybody thought maybe there was a chance. If there's anybody out there that wants to defend this as being not too big, feel free to chime in. Or if we want to make fun of...
Yeah, this one's definitely too small.
Definitely too small.
Definitely too small. That one might move, but it's still there. What are your questions, Payne?
So I don't think... Like, this is not fit. Okay. It couldn't focus, so it focused on my hand, which was closer.
There we go. That's better.
Is it, though?
Yeah.
So this handle is...
Oh no, regular people-sized hands.
This handle is plenty big to accommodate anyone's hands. By the way.
It is going to shrink, though.
I know it's going to shrink, but I mean, seriously.
Yeah, but compared to the size of the mug, that's tiny.
The mug is a little bigger, so you can probably go a bit bigger than that, but the other one is...
In case anybody's curious, I'm putting handles on mugs today.
Yeah, okay, maybe that's what it's for.
What?
Gorilla suit hands. We're making mugs for
yes.
people that
Cosplayers?
are doing haunt acting. That can be our new niche. Mugs for haunt actors that need to wear big giant hands. Okay. So now we are way pulled in. On Mr.
Oh. I fix. Don't touch.
You...
It's gonna be that kind of day.
Terms of service violation. At least the camera will focus on my stuff.
Ooh, snap. Okay. Oh yeah, scotch. It's gonna be that kind of day.
I genuinely have no idea how this works. Although apparently we got a an invitation to monetize, a notification that we are in the top 50% of streamers
On Stream Out.
on Stream Elements, which is not all
The
of
thing that I use in order to get the chats.
Okay, so it's
working together.
top 50% of people that are using Stream Elements,
Yes.
maybe. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. But yes, the Stream Elements utility allows us to stitch
The YouTube and Twitch chats.
the YouTube and Twitch chats. I don't know about all the platforms, but certainly at least YouTube and Twitch. It may be a plugin for OBS,
It is.
which is our basic streaming utility. Handles the video and all that. Video and audio.
The handles are thrown.
Wait, so does this mean we're going to go through the process of you shrinking handles again?
I don't know. I don't know.
They're going to start absolutely ginormous and then work their way back down to
Maybe.
reasonable size.
And to too small. And then...
Is that how that works? Should explore what your deal is with giant handles. Even up Mr. Burns' ears a bit. Figure out how exactly these ears work on Mr. Burns. Kind of, there's something about the positioning of this one that I sort of like, even though it's tipped back at a pretty crazy angle.
Is here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it kind of flows with the hair, I think. It's sort of kind of made sense with the more cartoony Mr. Burns, but maybe not as much now. Let's see what Mr. Burns. What's his actual? Okay. Burns has little tiny, very round ears. Yeah, little tiny, very round ears. I mean, we could try that.
We try?
So, pretty much all the Simpsons, I guess, have these very round, slightly downward inclined ears.
Okay. So is that what you're right?
Yeah, I might try those out. Just burns it up. Now, I suppose I could have done the smart thing and started with the ear that I was less pleased with. But, whatever. All this is fine. It's always the same when you're working with, like, changing up a style significantly, going from like an animated character, trying to do like a realistic version. You kind of have to feel out like what are the bits of the character that are important, which ones you can safely change without it could be somebody. Yeah, like the weirdest stuff can catch you off sometimes. I'm not necessarily going to be insistent on ears uniting, but if they're on the same team-ish, cousins will be fine. They don't have to be sisters. Yeah, the weirdest stuff will catch you up with a character. Like little details that you would not have thought would be important. And you just can't get it to look right without getting some random little thing correct. Happens with portraits too, but kind of less so. Or maybe it's just because I've been doing portraits for so long, I can kind of pick out the features that are going to be most vital to likeness. That, and I suppose if you're doing a portrait, you can always just make it look like the person's actual features. Whereas sometimes if you're uncartooning a cartoon, it really does look weird to have all of a sudden cartoon-like fingers or something like that. Kind of like most cartoon characters have 4 fingers instead of 5, which we kind of don't question in universe, but if you did a 4-fingered realistic Simpson, it would be unusual. Every once in a while, a 5-finger version somehow looks unusual too. I think maybe with Simpsons by now we kind of just we accept them as more human than they actually are. Because we're quite used to that animated style. Yeah, that works okay.
Okay, spin. It doesn't look weird.
Yeah, it doesn't look
Looks
weird.
fine.
It looks fine. Relatively simplified ear. Just going to even up. So I know ear symmetry is a thing that people somewhat frequently struggle with.
With sculpting or in their daily lives?
Mostly with sculpting. Probably some people in their daily lives. I don't know. Ask Stephen Colbert.
Can't believe I never noticed.
See, I think that might be why most people don't struggle with it in their daily lives. People just don't notice asymmetrical ears.
But now that I've been made aware of it, of the existence of a ear,
Yeah.
I can't not see it.
Well, Payne claims to struggle with it in her day-to-day. Maybe
Does she?
maybe you can use the eyebrows to like balance it out, offset it somehow.
What do you mean?
Well, like if you've got one ear lower or higher than the other, you could like shave the eyebrows differently on each side to kind of like compensate. Asymmetrical piercings. I don't know as I've ever seen you actually wear any ear jewelry, so
they'll do that.
I still find it hard to imagine people taking their super small children and having them pierced.
Some people are under the belief that a baby doesn't have the ability to feel pain or something.
I mean, they may not.
Pretty sure they do.
I don't know. You don't know that.
Or if they do, they just won't remember it.
They almost certainly won't.
And then if they don't actually remember it happening, it won't have any kind of effect on their
I mean,
outcome, upbringing.
until you're willing to do the research, I'm fine
You
with.
know that nobody will be doing that research.
I'm fine with sticking with the idea that infants don't feel pain. And that they're infinitely bouncy. Drop them from any height. See what happens. Prove me wrong. I mean, maybe. Subaru might know what's up. Maybe they did the experiment. I remember an old Riff Trax short where they make an excellent projectile in a car crash.
Hmm.
I do remember those images of the the child seat doing thing.
Child seat doing anything?
The Outback had a really weird, like, I think they were trying to warn you where to put child seats or something, but it was in pictogram and basically looked like the child could be like ejected randomly at any time. Or that it was possessed and would just like levitate and bounce around. It was a little hard to make out what precisely they were getting at. And then there was a Riff Trax short on car safety that had children becoming dangerous projectiles in the event of a crash. Unsecured children.
Yeah. I remember, I can't remember if it was a bus or a train. I was in college, had a pretty funny, I think it was a bus, had a pretty funny warning about unsecured children becoming projectiles in the event of an accident.
Yeah. Which does beg the question, is there somewhere like lab test dummy footage of them trying to decide what kind of damage will an infant do
I mean,
flying through the cab? Did they just like shove infant-sized objects in an air cannon and launch it at various things and see if it would wreck them?
like,
And if they didn't, why didn't they?
why don't we get to see?
Yeah. That looks like an appropriate, if slightly large handle. That one is within reason. Do you want to?
No. Ta-da. Handle.
That'd teach you.
I'll just let you dry. Where do you go?
I think those are probably on the thinner side for carving. You take up too much space to do this appropriately.
I take up too much space?
Well, apparently. So were those all appropriately tall for you?
Yeah.
I also increased the height of your paint cups this time.
Not sure how I feel, but I did notice.
I didn't. I figured one set wouldn't hurt.
Hmm?
I figured one set wouldn't hurt.
I mean, if they didn't have the swirling in the bottom, they'd almost be.
I mean,
Ew.
yes. You could fix that if you wanted to. But then the rims
No,
would be
they're
weird too.
They're fine.
I think your concept of size in mugs is very different than my concept of size
I
in mugs.
agree. And seeing as you're the one who doesn't drink hot beverages ever with mugs, seeing as you literally never use a mug,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna ignore your opinions.
Well, I more meant when you're saying I
Is
want.
that rude? Do I care?
When
No.
when you keep saying you want a bigger mug, I'm thinking bigger volume, and you just want them taller.
I want them physically larger in size. Physically, like this is a good size.
I think that's one of the shorter ones that I threw in
Yeah,
that
I
batch.
mean it's shorter than I'm gonna want for some of the designs that I have. Like this probably will be that's why I said this is gonna be a piranha plant.
Yeah, it was short and thick because I thought it would suit your new handles.
But my other, like the designs that I actually put on mugs,
Mm-hmm.
some of them need to be
Some of them want to be taller, yes.
taller.
Nobody likes a chode mug.
Short and thick. What?
Might be getting more jaw on the one side. Is there some unevenness going on? No. Possibly a little bit. Trying to balance the slightly more human aesthetic with the Simpsons receding chin. I am kind of enjoying this flared out snake-like mouth opening.
Mhm.
Hmm?
I said, where'd my music go? Stopped. Well, thankfully, I think these extruded handles are not as much of a pain in the ass as I thought they were going to be.
Not sure why you thought they were going to be a pain in the ass, honestly.
Well, it's mostly because of the ridges and stuff.
The extra detail?
Yeah, it's the extra detail.
I mean, I think you can get plainer extruder dies,
Yeah,
but
which I might look at. I don't know. I think it'll come down to like once these are done, actually, like in my hands and how they feel.
mm-hmm. I think the added width will make them more
Yes,
comfortable.
They did need a bit more, but I will give.
I know when I was making the tankard mugs, those really liked a super thick side to side kind of handle, like a strappy thing.
Yeah, like I'm a bit concerned that these will look weird on the smaller, like the soot sprites or the. Like if I do make more of the last unicorn.
I mean, would a little more size make it easier to paint that too?
Yeah.
There it is. Where's my... There it is. Mr. Burns, some nice prominent temple veins. Still gonna have to figure out how to go about molding this mouth area. It is possible that might need a denture piece.
Like mold the teeth separately and stick them on after?
Which I have done before.
Yeah, which one?
My old the toxic shrieking zombies.
Yeah. didn't know that.
Nope, their whole their tooth sections were done separately.
So like a separate mold?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's a whole separate dental mold thing.
Now by dental mold, do you mean the squishy stuff as opposed to plaster?
No, it's still plaster. You have to cast slip into it, just like everything else.
Yeah. Now, do you call it a dental mold just because it's teeth?
Yeah, like the dental area, the teeth, the... I might be making a teeth mold. I will see if I can avoid it. By possibly... So the options that I basically have are to mold the teeth in place except for the fangs. Oh, or try and mold the whole toothy fangy area in place, or to cut basically all of this with the exception of maybe the tongue out and mold it up separately, place it. Which I think I won't have to do that one.
That sounds right.
Well, it's not that bad, but if I can keep this kind of sloped upward. The problem is the side view. So like if I did a teeth kind of bridge thing, which I suppose is another option. I could plan on removing some material as part of the trimming process.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of backfill the teeth. I think what I'm going to start with, I'm going to remove these bangs.
Oh shit. So the mugs that I have drying in there, I don't think I put.
You'll have to paint it on them.
I think there's like 2 that I was gonna do and then completely.
Mm-hmm. So if I can tip him up to so I can work on it. Hopefully. This will show on camera okay. Be too inclined to just tip over backwards. So if I can kind of build his sort of like upper jaw, the inside, like the palate region. If I can do that so that it generally slopes away and doesn't catch any material inside. Without it looking visually weird. I think I would like to do that. So that's going to be the first job to try. Got to make sure that we kind of choose a point somewhere in here-ish. It acts kind of like a vanishing point. I can see that. So another big part of the problem with this is going to be we have some shapes to this music. I will have to take your word for that. I can't hear the music.
Oh. It is a little bit. The song is called Video Game Monster Chase.
Okay. Yeah, so one problem with this method may be the rest of his head.
Yes, seriously. It's from the stock, my one stock site. Because I was getting bored of the Spotify playlist. Bored and annoyed with the Spotify playlist, so...
I don't know if Payne is inquiring about how the rest of the head is going to be a problem, or how
maybe
the music is a problem, but
the head.
So a lot of times what I would want to do if I was going to do like a mouthpiece like this. So let's say this was a different character and I wanted to have an open mouth. If I open the mouth further so that the fangs could kind of stick out this ways, which I can definitely do with Mr. Burns here. I can make his fangs stick out more forward. Now he's got a winny tooth, but so I could do something like that, but that would require me to be able to pull the mold in line with the tooth, or even in line with the hole on the mouth here. But Burns has this forehead that slopes way back this way, and this jawline that slopes way back the other way. So I'd pretty much have to make sure that that mold is going to pull straight off in like this line. See if I can turn that a little bit to make it make more sense. So I don't have the option to have it so that the mold would pull off more downward because this is going to get in the way, or more upward because got eyebrows, nose, all that stuff that's going to be very much, it's got to come straight off. So I don't have a lot of wiggle room in terms of being able to bias kind of pulling off down or up because of the shape of the face. I'm actually finding, as I'm planning out my mold for Art the Clown, he's got a kind of a similar issue, because his nose is so crazy. It's not really possible to pull the mold straight off the face the way I normally would do. It's going to have to divide down the center, but then I have to make sure that the mold can pull out away from the face, kind of like at a 45-degree angle, in order to clear things like the eye sockets and the area around the mouth. So we'll see how much. I'm trying to do as little filling as I can always, but would rather have a piece that comes out relatively stronger than have like a bunch of crazy delicate little projections and things. So there's definitely stuff that I can do, like instead of having this upper lip area be kind of concave, I'll just make it a little more convex, and then it won't fight the molding quite as badly. And that really doesn't make much of a visual Mr. Burns's nose has a little bit of the same kind of thing as Art the Clown's nose, in that it wants to come downward. So that's another experiment that I'm going to want to do, is just see, can I either bring the tip of the nose higher and make it sort of point straight out more, or can I bring it down? And I don't think this is going to work, but I could bring it down lower. And then that would... Okay, that actually doesn't look terrible. So if I keep it from hooking over, then I can mold this. And that actually looks nice and vampire-y, that. Not terribly... It's not as Burns accurate, but I'm kind of into it, and it's not... It doesn't distract me. And that's just, you know, it's a relatively small change. Mostly what I try and do is, when I'm making concessions for molding, I'm trying to do things that you really can't see. Just stuff like maybe slightly decreasing the depth of these areas in the corner of the eyes, just to make it pull out of the mold a little bit easier. If you do that in a small kind of way, it really doesn't look any different. I think like my favorite kind of trick is if I had just give Mr. Burns a growth here for a minute. So if I was to make the shape of an eye, for example, and you've got these kind of lids that overhang, like obviously the eyelid does curl around and overhang a little bit for reals, but if I come in and make sure that these angle up a little bit, they can kind of look weird. Unless you make sure that where they connect, you have a really good, like a right angle kind of transition change. And the way that looks with the light, it reads almost like an undercut, even though it's really a pretty, it's a pretty broad angle that you're coming to. But if that transition in the deepest part of the angle is soft in any way, like it's not doesn't come to like a hard line, you can really tell the difference between like a little bit tighter angle and a little bit wider angle. But if you make sure that makes like a really tight no less than like 90-degree bend. Like you get a really sharp angle in there. The way the light hits that, it practically looks like an undercut. So I end up going in and making a lot of changes like that to make sure that like these eye wrinkles and things hit really sharply but don't actually curl around. And you would really have to have the two versions side by side to see that there was any change made. But every once in a while you get things like this that you definitely will see a difference. But this mold friendly version just still looks pretty good. I may actually point that a little bit more. Mr. Burns has such a very sharp nose. And now that I have this extra material underneath here, kind of strengthening it, this super pointy front profile isn't going to be as delicate. So we may end up with a more Mr. Burnsy looking nose than we had to start with. But there's always these little like compromises and concessions to a piece of like pottery or sculpture being a physical object. That you have to make. You can't just like make it look the way you want and then just decide that, well, we're done. We are done here. Because the look is only like getting it to look right is only half the battle. At least according to G.I. Joe, the other half is knowing something. This is one of those teeny tiny, not visually apparent changes that will make molding easier. Just filling that in a little bit. I've gotten to the point where I do allow some of these changes to take place earlier on in the sculpting process. I'm gonna try for 4 still on this one. It might depend. There's an area in the back here that's going to be a whole thing that I'm going to have to figure out and or fiddle with. But I think this is going to be doable in 4. With the exception of the fangs. They're going to have to be well, I don't think I'm going to do a full on denture piece because I don't think I'm going to have to. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking I can get this mouth to work. With everything but the fangs in it. So it's just going to be two little fangs. Although I'm still going to try and do this with the fangs in place. I'm going to see how it looks. I'm not super hopeful, but as I'm doing this part and making sure that I'm not having undercuts on the sides here, this all seems to be working reasonably well. And this is still a part of the process where I sit here going, man, if I was just making silicone molds, be done by now. Because these undercuts in a silicone mold, they wouldn't be a problem at all. Silicone mold could handle this, no problem. Or even if I was making latex masks, this would be no problem for pulling out of a latex. Like pulling a latex mask out of a plaster mold with little tiny undercuts like this would not even begin to be an issue. There's another little change that I'm going to make to make molding easier. If I just curl the tip of his tongue up a little bit more than where it was. That will unmold just fine. But when it came down further and sort of overhangs, that won't work. I think I like a little. I want to make his tongue a little bit more symmetrical too, though. I was trying to get a little bit of movement in there, but Mr. Burns is a kind of a symmetry guy. The hair and everything flowing the way it does. This is going to be more more the same side to side than a lot of my sculpt. Mr. Burns has a very distinct sort of flow and momentum to his pose. It sort of implies that he's lunging very much in a straight line. Like he's coming straight for you. Mr. Burns is very much moving in that straight line kind of way. Which is not something that I typically do in a sculpt. I get a lot of character in my pieces from having like one eyebrow raised more than the other, or having a certain kind of like tilt to the head. Whether it's more of a like relaxed pose or like a I don't know, like a coiled and ready to strike kind of thing. I can't think of any that I've done like that off the top of my head, but there are different kinds of tension you can put in a figure. By just what kind of movements you're sort of suggesting with it. And this is a very active, straightforward, all the lines are flowing in one direction. That makes it appear very active. I think this will be interesting kind of illustration. So I just filled in at the outside top of the eye here, and it's not so apparent in this light, but it looks far less hollow than it did before I sort of filled that in, and I can get a lot of that look back just by making sure that this comes in and changes. Where's my... There it is. So instead of having a rounded out bottom, I'm going to make sure that this has a real abrupt transition, and it's going to bring a lot of that hollowness back. Hopefully it'll be visible in this lighting. Because right now when I turn him to face the camera that way, the light, yeah, no, that sort of, you can see that a bit. There's a bit more shadow going on. I can straighten this up even slightly more. So I'm actually going to add more material and make it look more hollow. So what this is going to do is this is going to come, this isn't curling around at all, it's coming straight in, and then turning straight out. And that gives it a harsher, more sunken look, even though I added material. Let's see. Now, if we reduce the height on Mr. Burns's fangs, like, I'm quite sure I could make this look right from the front. It's the side. I don't think I can illusion and mind trick my way around here. But this is normally the way that I would do these things. So I would shape my fang and then it would come straight back. And if I put, say, other teeth behind it, maybe, well, maybe, let's see. This one could be a thing. We will see.
Occupy your work box until tomorrow.
Yeah, that's cool. If I didn't think you could occupy the wet box, I wouldn't have put anything in it. I also wouldn't have made stuff that needed wet boxing.
No, just because it occurs to me that I've got all my new decals, but
it takes time to
I
apply
want them to
those.
be moist.
Uh-huh. Nope,
And I'm not gonna get all these cut and the other handles on.
Yep.
And
the decals applied.
and the carbon and the
And the brain damage.
yeah, and the brand damage. So it's not all happening.
No. No, I wouldn't have made them if I couldn't spare you the space for them to live. You know? You know what? I might make this work with mind tricks and fuckery.
Okay. Excellent.
So those teeth aren't maybe quite as long as I would. So I would choose, all things being the same, but if I can keep them to, if I can make them work visually like that, they'll be a lot less delicate and prone to breakage. And that's no fun for people to have something that they quite like and
the teeth break off.
And have the teeth break off and shit like that. Like that's very disappointing. And if I can make it look 98% as good and be like 50% less likely to break a tooth off, that feels like a good trade to me.
Yep, it does.
And I suppose if somebody was like, man, I really wish I could have those uber long Mr. Burns fangs that you had in the like the prototype phase. I could add more fang for somebody and just be like, there's no returns on this. Break it. I'm just gonna have to live with it. But I know there are people that buy the mugs and they put them up on a shelf and they don't use them. They don't do anything that would potentially cause breakage. That and I don't want to deal with breaking stuff because we got to pack it up and take it to shows and then unpack it and all that. It's a whole thing. When I was making mugs, my first mugs, when I was doing them as a one-off, I was making all the teeth like as little separate pieces. And I don't think we have any of those still that have all their teeth.
No, I mean, we straight up don't have it.
We straight up don't have many left, but we also...
We do have some.
Like, we stress tested them.
I mean, I do have one of your coffee breath mugs upstairs and I lost a tongue.
Yep. Yeah, well, there were some issues with just, like, getting stuff to attach properly. When you've got kind of delicate pieces of clay that you can't really jam in there and join the way you would like a mug handle or something. Okay, that's something else that we're going to do. We are going to increase the amount that Mr. Burns is tipped forward in his pose. The more that I'm thinking about this kind of forward lunge that Mr. Burns has, like, I think he reads better this way than this way.
Forward again. Can you spin it?
Which way am I spinning?
Yeah, that way. No, like, so he's facing the camera.
Oh, so he's facing the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's...
Payne says she kind of digs his hump.
Yeah. I'm good with the hump. I'm gonna try changing this hair back here up. Because this is gonna be a pain in my ass for molding. Not impossible, but a pain in my ass. And if I
ridge thing?
the fact that the hump comes up high,
yeah,
and then it sort of pinches in here and you've got that shape.
Yeah.
If I just...
Is that what his actual head was shaped like? That flat part?
Yeah, he's got like a... Well, for whatever reason, when they drew Vampire Burns, they changed his hair. So, and I think it's supposed to be like the like Gary Oldman's Dracula hair.
Yeah, the butt part makes sense. It's the bottom section.
Well, no, yeah, the butt part makes sense, but there's a distinct, like you can see in the little modeled thing, the modeled Mr. Burns that you have there, but like check this one out from the, you have to look at a physical object in space.
Yeah, okay.
He's got like a different
should we
shape.
watch the episode and see if we get it back to the headshot?
No, we don't
Seems
have to.
unlikely.
We don't have to do that. Yeah, for whatever reason, they gave Mr. Burns with his vampire hair sort of a different cut. I'm gonna go to a classic Burns because it will mold better. And I don't think it's going to be a problem. It may read more Burns with a more classic Burns hair as well. And that's just going to be rounding this edge off. Actually, now I want to look up Gary Oldman's vampire hair because I am 95% certain, if I remember right, that Gary Oldman had a braid. Yeah. So the Vampire Burns version just had this whole thing. Do you want to make a new reference picture or are your hands all dirty?
I mean my hands.
I'll send you a couple of different reference pictures.
Hey, don't send me a couple, send me
Okay, fine. Be that way.
I will be that way. Because I can only really put up one.
Yeah, well, that's Gary Oldman's hair. I found a nice production head. So there's no conceptual reason why Mr. Burns needs to have
Oh, well, okay.
the hair that they gave him versus his standard Mr. Burns hair.
I may throw this up separate.
But yeah, he actually had a very very ornate braid thing going on.
Yeah.
The production design from that version of Dracula was truly on point. Like, they really, I don't know where that crazy hair came from.
Is it historically accurate?
I don't think so. It could be from some like really obscure reference, like the new version of Nosferatu that just came out last year, the Robert Eggers version.
Mm-hmm.
That the weird mustache and the high shaved side, almost like quasi mohawk thing.
Mm-hmm.
That is completely historically accurate for, I don't know if it's the exact right period for the film, but yeah,
I mean, it would make sense if it was earlier.
Yeah, like if Nosferatu was kicking around like an old-fashioned haircut.
Yeah.
But it may have been perfectly normal for that period too. But yeah, like that was a pretty long-standing sort of Balkan hairdo. But the hair butt cheeks, as far as I know, that was a completely just completely in the movie thing. But I mean, I dig it. Like, I don't care. Not everything has to be historically accurate or based on anything.
Does not.
Sometimes vampire just gotta have some cool ass hair. Like in this case, literally some cool ass hair. Like, I don't know who went to the stylist and said, "Give me the badonkadonk." But I don't disagree with them. Then again, I also think, like, for me personally, sometimes production design is enough for a movie. Like the old 80s version of Dune with was it James Cameron did that one? No, that doesn't seem right.
No, that doesn't seem right.
But yeah, like that old version of Dune has some significant plot issues, and it's a braided rat tail. I mean, I'd be half tempted to give Mr. Burns some braided rat tail, but Now it's going to annoy me. Who did the,
Annoy you to what?
well, I can't think of who directed Dune. It's not Cameron, it just sounds like.
David Lynch.
No, it wasn't. Was it?
That's what Payne says. I do believe that's what he means. She says yes, it was.
Dune is the new one.
He doesn't believe you.
I swear it wasn't Lynch. I mean, it would make sense if it was David Lynch. It kind of looks a little like it.
So why don't you think it's David Lynch?
Yeah, no, David Lynch. Okay. I mean, yeah, okay. Because Kyle MacLachlan, that totally tracks.
What?
I think he's worked with David Lynch before too. In addition time. Yeah, Twin Peaks. He was Paul Atreides in Dune, and he was like the lead in Twin Peaks. I mean, I would believe IMDb. Usually I'd believe IMDb. Usually. Yes, Agent Cooper. I haven't seen Twin Peaks in a long time.
I can't remember past like the first episode or two.
Really?
Yeah.
You must have. We watched more than that
Mm-hmm.
together. We didn't finish the whole thing because it's long. I mean, it's a whole thing. But yeah, we watched more than the first episode or two.
Did you say so?
I don't think we need the. Do not think we need the box set for watching. We need. It's that whole thing is a whole thing. It is fairly extensive. And it's got parts that I really like, for sure, but it's not something that I feel the need to rewatch.
Streaming.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it was streaming it again if it wasn't the whole time, because there was obviously a renewed interest in Lynch's body of work
Yep.
after he passed. Yeah, it's very it's super dense and it's quite long. And it did kind of get, yeah.
What?
Like, it got even weirder than it started, and possibly not so much in a good way. Like,
Okay. Well, I mean, if I'm gonna watch it, don't tell me about it.
well, okay, so have you seen Naked Lunch? Have you seen Eraserhead and all those? because I would be more inclined to rewatch those.
Those are movies.
Those are movies.
Of course, you're more inclined to watch those.
Okay, that's fair.
Those are not movies.
What, yeah, this is true. But David Lynch is... If anybody was going to be like, I'm going to make TV shows that are basically, you know, the same as my movies, it's going to be David Lynch. Like,
Okay.
and he kind of sort of did. Like, oh yeah, but Naked Lunch was Cronenberg.
He's fun too.
Yes. Yeah, I've been looking for Naked Lunch on streaming for a while. It hasn't come up. Yeah, there are a lot of movies that like are very, very good.
Only 5 much. Right? No, 6. I can count.
You
Sorry.
can count and I can remember what? Like, I don't know. I'm not even sure I did count them.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh, I mean, I usually do 6 things because that's what fits comfortably on the drying area. Like watching Eraserhead again would definitely be a thing. And that's more, I don't know, they're more entertaining, I think, than like, Twin Peaks is, oh, ooh, scanners. That was a good one. I remember the explodey head effect being quite good, but it has been some time.
See it hold up.
I mean, I have to assume it does,
I don't know why you have to assume that.
but I mean, also there was a degree of stylization that kind of covers for some inaccuracy. And some kind of, like, you know, relatively old practical effect clunkiness. But yeah, I don't know what kind of quality I watched it in the last time. But it was not the super high definition kind of like I've seen Evil Dead 2 in glorious ultra 4K, not 4K, but glorious HD, and yeah, I mean, if I probably saw it like you did on VHS tape on a 36-inch or 42-inch like standard. No, it was a DVD. I may have literally seen it on VHS tape. It may have been that long since I've seen it, and that just doesn't quite hit the same sometimes. Well, I'm still waiting for that Criterion Collection Rabid Grannies.
If I didn't know what you said, I would have thought you said rabbit.
No, Rabid Grannies.
I know.
Tell you, it's an underrated film, Rabid Grannies. I mean, am I remembering Beware Children at Play correctly? That was not an effects heavy film. That was the Mind Control Kids. Weird Grendel cult out in the woods. Okay, I must be thinking something else. That doesn't sound that familiar. Maybe
something. A troop of people go camping out in the mysterious woods, and then they find some kind of cabin, and then weird shit starts happening. It does not narrow things down.
No, it doesn't that much.
I'm just assuming that that's what the storyline is.
Oh, you're assuming that. I'm going to say
no,
you're familiar with the film?
No, I don't know this for sure.
Okay. Because I'm willing to try and find it. I'm willing to give it its 10 minutes. Because the name is familiar. And I can definitely see that one being a film that I may have missed.
Does it have the word children in
The title does not spark joy, is all I'm saying.
I've met you before.
You have. But yes, that title does not spark joy. So we have 4 minutes.
So, how goes your sculpt? Is it going to be back for another stream, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna carry on with Senior Burns. Trauma.
Show about cannibalistic kids. Okay, I guess I don't. But if it also has children in the movie, then it's unlikely that we'll watch it.
I mean, it depends. I've watched The Omen and Rosemary's Baby and
one kid. And that's one kid that hasn't even really been born. You have seen Children in the Corn.
Yeah, I had a full playlist recommendation of Children Are Awful films.
Okay.
I mean, Chucky kind of doesn't count.
Oh. Well,
it has a kid in it, and it does survive the film.
Mhm.
It's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Like one kid, I can like not a big deal for it. Lack of kids?
well, it depends on the film.
Yes.
Terrifier 2 had a child.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifier 3 has childs.
Mm-hmm.
Both strong films.
Okay. Yeah, but that's a child.
More than
child.
no, they had more than one child.
What?
They had several children's.
What?
What? Terrifier?
Terrifier?
Terrifier 3 for sure. Jen hasn't seen it, so
I don't think it's that much of a spoiler.
I mean, of all the films with children in it,
Those are your favorite?
I think my favorite child in a movie thing is probably Hereditary. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the film, but
Is that the one with the girl in the window? Of the
yeah, the one where the one where the kid stuck its head out the window and got smoked. I'll watch that scene a couple of times. I've seen the whole movie twice. I've seen that scene more than twice.
He watches it going.
I mean, come on, that is excellent. It's not very few films like have children getting just graphically smoked. So you got to appreciate it when it happens. Whistling nose.
Bitch.
Yep, that's true. I forgot about them, but yeah. I mean, they were all kids in the Vitch, basically. Except for the, like, parents.
Except for the not kids, they were all kids.
There were like 6 people in the whole movie. The non-children were way outnumbered. Anywho, it is now 10 o'clock.
It's time.
So we can pick this up on
Back on
Thursday.
Thursday, same bat time, same bat sheet.
And then we will see. Then we will see.
Not that Ben will be done.
Yeah. Anyway. Night.
Okay. Thanks for coming out. Yes, Black Phillip's the best.
Black Phillip is the best. Actually, apparently Black Phillip was a pain.